Postman, what's good with y'all, man? I'm just kind of practicing on my keys, writing a little song here and there. A lot of y'all don't know, man, this is what I love to do, man. Like, this is me right here, the keys. And I know y'all see me marketing and stuff like that. I think, man, this thing post just about the money, man. But really, I'm about the music. My whole thing about money and marketing is so that way I can have time to just do the music without having to worry about how to pay the bills and struggling and working 9 to 5. I can just focus on this. This is my first love, is the keys. It's interesting because the way I got started was when I was in 7th grade. A lot of y'all know I'm from South Central, so, I changed schools in the middle of the semester. You know how it is, sometimes you move or something like that. So I changed schools anyway. And so in my community, the schools are overcrowded. They have like overcrowded schools. So basically you just take whatever classes they like. Look, shit, this one ain't full, this ain't full. They got 30 kids instead of 50 kids in this class, so go in there. So basically they had a piano class that they gave me, and I looked at my thing, I'm like, piano, what the hell? I don't take no piano class. That sounds like something for geeks or something, So anyways, I get this piano, like, you're gonna have to take it, that's all that's left. So I get in the piano class. And a funny thing is, I'm like, okay, well, let's see what's popping with this. So they had like a classroom, they had like a bunch of keyboards in there, like electric pianos, to where you practice at, and they had like the classroom side. So it was an interesting setup. I'd never seen nothing like that. And then I remember sitting at the keyboard and learning my first scale, And when that happened, something hit me to where this excitement took over. I was just like, damn, I did that, you know what I mean? And then it was almost like the universe or God or somebody just put me there, you know what I mean, in that situation to where it's like, this is who you are. And I mean, after that, I just took off like a rocket. I mean, all of a sudden, I was practicing. I had a little Casio keyboard I got from my cousin. This little raggedy Casio keyboard. I was on that keyboard every day after school. I would just lock myself in the room and just practice on my keys just to get better and better. Then I would wake up early. Think about it. I would wake up early for school, get to school like at 6 in the morning just so I can go to piano club. And they would let you in the morning times go and practice on the keys in the morning, and you can ask the teacher if you have any questions. So I would just go to piano club in the morning. So I mean, I was just pianoed out. And I soon quickly began to differentiate myself from all the other kids in the class, because all those guys, they were still playing Tinker Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. They didn't have a whole lot of love for it. It was a class to them. But then I had found my purpose in it. So I started to excel past them very quickly. Guys who were in there 2 years playing the piano, and in 1 month I was killing them on the keys. And then I did my first piano recital, and it was okay. I'd only been playing the piano for probably about a month or two. So I did the piano recital. It was okay. It was pretty cool. And then the second piano recital, that's where my life changed. And I knew music was what I had to do for life, because I remember now 2 months in the piano, I was like, okay, this stuff is too easy. The stuff they're having me play is just too easy. So I need to play the hard stuff. So there's probably about 3 guys all together in all the piano class, all the classes. There's 6 classes, think about it. In all the piano classes, probably about 3 people who could really play the piano, who had private lessons. I didn't have any private lessons, but they were really nice. So I was like, I want to learn some classical. So then I started learning classical pieces. I remember the first classical piece that I learned was, I know you heard, it's like one of those popular ones, the Fur Elise by Beethoven. And I don't know if I can still play it. Forgive me, I haven't played this since I was like 7th grade, like 12 years old. But, it was like... that was my second piano recital. I'm gonna tell you, that was the most amazing experience of my life, because the first piano recital was cool, like I said, but this one, I had learned this piece, and I had practiced day and night, man. So the piano recital was like this big community event. You know what I mean? I didn't know how big it was gonna be. It was in the auditorium. It was at nighttime. You gotta come dressed up. And there's a piano, there's a stage, a piano, and it's not like a band or a singer. You have it's just you and the piano. And everybody's dead silent. I went up there, I was probably nervous as shit. I'm like, oh my God. So I got up there, and you have to walk up to the stage, the other pianist comes off, and you walk by him, then you sit at the piano, and then it's dead silent. All eyes. The auditorium was packed. It was standing room only. It was packed from wall to wall. Standing aisles were packed. The whole auditorium, every seat was filled. There was cameras there. And I'm like, oh man, you know. So silent happened. It was like it was time to play. And I remember playing the piece, man, like the emotions, my spirit just came out. And it was just an amazing experience. And then, you know, I got in the zone, I played my piece. I mean, that piece gets difficult too. I mean, that was the easy part. I mean, I played the whole piece, and I mean, I looked up and the whole crowd was on their feet, roaring and cheering and screaming and clapping. I mean, that hadn't happened for any other pianist in there. People were crying and tears. I mean, that's the power of this thing we call music. That's the power of this instrument of the piano. I mean, people were literally, I mean, it was like, and I'm only 12. Remember, I'm only 12 years old. I'm not a grown man. I was 12. So that experience changed my life. So I said, this is what I want to do. You know? And from there on, I mean, you see I had this keyboard, and I always suggest, you know, if you're a producer, especially if you want to get better on the keys, keep a keyboard with you. This is nothing crazy. This keyboard's like $400. I carry it with me everywhere. It's battery powered, or you can plug it in. Right now it's plugged in, but it's portable. And that's what I like about it. You know, I take it with me and I practice on the keys wherever I'm at. If I'm somewhere, if I'm at somebody's house, I got this in the car with me, and I bring it in with me no matter where I'm at, so I can always be practicing and getting better. Or I might get an idea, I can go right to the keys and play it. You know, and that's why I love this little portable. It ain't too expensive, so you can bang it around and stuff like that. You know, it's not like a $2,000 keyboard where you don't really want to be banging it around and stuff like that. You don't need any, you don't have to plug it in anywhere because the speakers are built in. So I always suggest that, especially if you want to get nice on the keys. You know, is keep practicing on them and have a keyboard with you. Now, unfortunately, in my story, it didn't go from there to glory. You know what I'm saying? Once I hit like 18, 19 years old, it was time to hit the real world. Like most of you guys know. It's like, well, okay, that's cool, but you know, you got to make some money. You got to be a man. You got to earn a living. You got to, you know, survive. What are you going to do? You know, so I had to go do what everybody did. I went and got a job. You know, I tried to go to school somewhat. School I just couldn't do. You know, some people can, some people can't. I couldn't sit in these classrooms. I tried to go to community college. I went to about 4 of those, and none of them could work for me. I went to work. I worked at first I was an amusement park ride operator. So I was operating amusement park rides. And then I was a grocery bagger. So I was bagging groceries. Then I went to Pepsi. I was merchandising. Means I go and stock the shelves of, you know, the stores with Pepsi product. And then I was my last job, J-O-B, was I worked for Target Distribution Center. So I was stacking trailers 10 hours a day. And I was doing that. I'm like, man, this is just some bullshit. I don't have time to do what I love. I mean, by the time I was so tired after work, literally I got off to work, it was a 10-hour shift. So I got off work at 3:30 in the morning. By the time I got home, I was so tired from work that I just would sleep. And by the time I got up, I had about 2 or 3 hours really to do anything before I had to be back at work. So, I mean, it was really, it was just an unfun lifestyle. I wasn't living my purpose. I wasn't doing music like I wanted to. It was just a bad time. And so eventually I got fired, which was the hardest, beautifulest time ever. Because I got fired from my job, and it was like, what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? It's like, you're going to have to do something. You know, I'm living with my mom. You know, I'm like 19 years old. I'm like, well, I'm never getting another job again. So I made that decision. That was the embark. All you see now is on that one decision. I made a decision to say I'm not going to get another 9 to 5. Period. I'm going to make this happen somehow. So I said, well, how can I make some money on the internet? You know, selling my beats or whatever it was. You know, I had been on the internet. I had been selling music somewhat independently, but I hadn't put that much focus into it. You know, so I wanted to say, well, how can I do it more? How can I get out there? You know what I mean? So I started looking up, you know, stuff, and a friend of mine who was actually a producer as well, one of my mentors, sent me an ebook. It's funny, an ebook on how to, you know, get rich on the internet or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can use this stuff to market. So from there, I started getting deeper and deeper into it, and then I became a student of marketing. Then I spent the next 4 years just learning this stuff, being mentored and buying courses. I mean, spending money I didn't even have. I mean, thousands. Money you wouldn't believe, because that stuff costs money, because it's a lot of valuable information. I'm glad I spent it, because now I'm set for life. I never have to worry about how to make another dollar, because I know how, right? I know how to market. I know all these things. And so, anyways, now, fast forward to now, what has it gotten me? That's the question. What has marketing on the internet gotten me? Well, I mean, stuff that I, in a million years, wouldn't dream of. Now, you got to remember, let me say this first. You know, I didn't, you know, some people are blessed, fortunate, lucky, those 3 terms somebody comes and just says, hey, I'm going to mentor you, I'm going to pull you up. They happen to meet somebody that just puts them on, and then boom, they're just the shit, and now they blow up and all that kind of stuff. Or their cousin or a family member or a brother or mother knows someone in the game, or their aunt used to be signed and has connections. Now, I didn't have any of that. So I had to fight my way, and I had to fight, I had to kick, I had to scratch, I had to come up. I didn't have none of those resources and opportunities. So I had to figure out how to get in these circles. People weren't hitting me back. They weren't emailing. We don't care about you. We don't know you. Leave me alone. That's what they were telling me. And I was like, no, I'm going to find my way in. I mean, it wasn't an easy road for me, because I went homeless. I had to sleep in cars. In fact, it wasn't even my car. I slept in my girlfriend's car because I had nowhere to live. I had to sleep on a hardwood floor, my sister's hardwood floor, where I didn't have any money. I had nowhere to stay. And so, this was my life. This is the story I'm telling you. But all this time I was learning, well, how can I market? How can I get out there as a producer? How can I do these things? And so I just kept devouring this information, knowing that, it was going to pay off. And look at today, like I said, a lot of you guys don't know, but, we're one of the go-to producers in the TV film industry. Like, every beat that I make right now, every single beat goes to TV. Like that's how in demand we are. It's like every day, like, look, we need more tracks. I'm like, man, I can't make them. They're like, we need more. So I'm like, okay. So everything we do, we're pumping out tracks to get on TV. I got placements for TV shows all over the world. Millions of people hear my music. You know what I mean? And that wouldn't happen if I wasn't marketing on the internet and branding myself. If I had just sat back and just said, oh, I'm hopeless, or just gave up, then no. I had to fight, I had to scratch, I had to kick, and some of you guys gonna have to do that, because we weren't born with silver spoons. We weren't born with gold spoons. We weren't born with connections. Nobody gives a shit about who we are and where we're from and what we're doing. We have to make them care. We have to stay in their face. We have to beat them over the head and say, look, this is what I do. You're going to need me. We're going to build a brand myself. We're going to do it ourselves, and then we're going to, take this by storm. Now, that's the mentality that some of us have to have, because that's just the way it is for some of us, But fortunately, I learned how to do all this stuff, and I'm passing it back to you, because that's the way life works. You're supposed to give, and then you're supposed to receive it and give the game back. But the game is to be sold, not to be told. And see, some of y'all got to understand that, especially in this world. And when we talk about capitalism, you got to be able to understand these things. But some of y'all get it, some of y'all don't. So, some of y'all gonna make millions, some of y'all won't. But the ones who get the knowledge and understand what I'm trying to tell you, because ain't nobody else doing this. I looked on it, nobody was teaching producers how to really get on and make money and survive, and not just survive, but thrive without knowing somebody. So I had to find all this stuff out on my own, and it was a hard road. But that's why I'm giving the game back, so that way you don't have to do that. You don't have to sit there and do all the shit that I had to go through, because I'm giving you the goddamn blueprint to doing it. It don't get no easier than that. But, some cats don't even want to do that. But anyways, I'm not done with, I was just in the studio yesterday with the legendary battle cat, legendary producer. This guy was literally teaching me how to make beats better. He was making beats right in front of me, then showing me new things. So I'm being mentored by one of the most legendary producers that ever existed in our time. If you don't know who Battle Cat is, you better look up his discography and start listening to some of that music. He gave us a whole sound on the West Coast that wasn't there. So, his level of beat making is just so ridiculous in producing, and then he also, he put me into his camp. He said he asked me to be in his camp. He's doing big, huge things right now behind the scenes, and he asked me to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I got Trauma drums. I took Trauma. He was in Arizona. He was in Phoenix, and he was nasty. He sent me some beats. I remember meeting him at a conference, and so a lot of y'all, you heard of Trauma drums. Just so you don't know, TraumaDrums.com. It's like the phenomenon of the sound industry, and I'm half owner of that, because I did all the marketing and stuff like that for it. Just like I tell you how to market, I use it and apply it to another producer, and just to show that this shit works. Now he's fastest growing drum company in the game right now. We got $1 million deals on the table. From $1 million companies want to do deals. Excuse me. We got all kind of stuff. That's popped off from there, just from marketing and branding him, and that came back to the company, which I'm half owner of. So I get to have those fruits too. But anyways, no one knew who he was a year and a half ago. No one knew who Trauma was, unless you were in Arizona. He was out there doing his thing. I met him at a Shy Money conference, and we just linked up, chopped it up, And because I was marketing on the internet, he had heard of, excuse me, he had heard of me through somebody else. My name was ringing bells in Arizona. You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing. This is back in like 2008 or something like that, 2009. And he had heard of me, and then we were just chopping it up. He had got some of my courses, and he went through some of the stuff. He was getting his website up, and I saw the drive in him. So I said, one day, we didn't do nothing there, but he followed up with me, contacted me, I think a year later. This is about April 2010. Or maybe not April, this is maybe February 2010. And he was like, hey man, what's up? I'm like, well, send me some beat. I gave him some advice on how to sell beats or whatever, and what he could do to his beat site. And I said, let me hear some of your beats. And the beats were nasty. I said, man, this is nasty. And I felt like, me and him had a great bond, and I felt like he had a lot of talent to offer and a drive to do it. And one day he called me. He was like, man, shit, I've been wanting to move out to LA, man. I've been thinking about it. I said, well then, you know what? Move out here. Come on out here. Don't think about it. Don't want to do some shit. Get up and let's go. So I said, pack your shit up tonight and leave. And he was like, man, you're fucking crazy. I can't do it now. I got a lease and all this shit. But he came like 2 months later, like a month and a half later. He was like, he packed all his shit up and he moved out here to LA. Just following his dream as a producer, not knowing what was next. And he had been in the TV world as well, so he didn't see any that much money from it yet, because that takes time as far as royalty checks. That comes every quarter, so it takes about a year before you really get to see the benefit of all your hard work in the TV game. But it's long-term money. But anyways, he comes. I hear these drum sounds. He's like, man, I've been thinking about starting a drum company. I said, we ain't gonna think about it, let's do it. So we got the drum company up that next night. That morning, I had the site up for him. We marketed it, and I think we made like $1,500 that first day at launch. We made like $1,500. I mean, it was nothing much, but that showed that there was a market there. And then you fast forward now, a year and a half later, we've generated over 6 figures with that. He's a worldwide brand. People know who Trauma is now because of the marketing that I did for him. We got sales in countries I never heard of: Lithuania, Romania, from New Zealand, Australia, South America, France, England, America, all over the United States, every state in America, Canada, Alaska, Africa, South Africa. It's crazy. We got everywhere. Them drums are producers from all over the world are using them. Some of the top producers in the game right now are using Trauma drums and swear by them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, it's not it started out as just a producer just like you, who then I applied the marketing that I teach you and that I've been teaching, and I just applied it to him. I did the same stuff that I've been teaching you for years, that some people been saying, oh, it ain't work, it's just bullshit. And I said, okay, instead of bullshitting, he came and I said, let me show you that this shit work. And now he has a worldwide brand. He can make money instantly in his sleep. And he does, with the Trauma drums. And like I said, companies, $1 million companies, multi-million-dollar companies are coming ready to do deals. All kinds of crazy stuff, man. It's just been a crazy ride. We've got so many connections and opportunities through Trauma drums. You know what I mean? And because I knew how to market, I paired up with him, and we got it popping. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And for 2012, this year right now, you need to be doing the same thing. You need to be getting it popping. It's about brand building. Now, one thing I want to say is I'm not doing no more, low budget stuff for Live Off Beats. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm only going to share premium information at premium prices and premium value. The stuff I have is valuable. Look at guys like Bliss Beats. Shout out to Bliss Beats. That's my dude. That guy came from nothing. You know what I mean? So he's constantly on top of SoundClick, constantly making 4 to 5 figures a month, just selling his beats on the internet, all over, taking vacations. He's recently married. Congratulations. He's doing this thing. He's like 24, 25 years old. So, that's what I'm saying. Zia, AFB, all the top cats now that you see on the internet that's killing it. Most of those guys started at Live Off Beats. They were nothing. They were just sitting on their couches wondering what to do with their thumbs up their ass. They got the information, and now a few years later, they are the top guys. It's not a coincidence that guys who fuck with me and the information are the top guys. Now me, I've been undervaluing myself because think about it. A producer who came from nothing, now making thousands of dollars every month, and they didn't even have to hardly pay me no money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting royalties on the back end, so this stuff is actually very valuable. And I'm cutting out all the bullshitters. I'm cutting out all the whiners. The Live Off Beach community is going to be a premium community from now on. Only the top guys are going to be fucking with Live Off Beach. So that way when you network, when we have our outings, we don't want the bums. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you what an example of a bum is. You know what I mean? A bum gets a Live Off Beach course because it's so cheap and undervalued, right? That then they come and they email me and they say, I got an email not too long ago from a guy. Man, I've been making beats for 6 months and I haven't sold a beat yet. I've been working at it for 2 months and I haven't sold one beat. Yeah, wah, wah, wah. You know, I'm gonna quit. I say, you know what, man? You know, you are a bitch ass motherfucker and you need to quit. This ain't for you. This ain't for no weak-minded punk motherfuckers, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm serving notice. Y'all gotta stop that shit. We not want none of that crybaby stuff in our community. I mean, that's ridiculous. What kind of grown person will sit there and act like that because they've been doing it for 2 months? 2 months. Like, motherfucker, I did this for years. I had to sleep in cars. I ate scraps because I didn't have no fucking money. And you're going to tell me you're going to quit because 2 months you've been sitting in your air-conditioned fucking room and typed a couple little things and nobody hit you back and you didn't get a beat sale? I mean, come on, man. That's insane. Yeah, I'm going to tell you where it's from. It's socially conditioned in us because it started at school. And if it's in you, I'm going to get it out of you right now so you can move forward and become a success. Now, this is where it came from. Remember in school when you would fuck up and you wouldn't do your work or something, or you would get the wrong answer, and the teacher would say, oh, it's okay. You know, you got to eat for effort and all that kind of crap. No. You know, we should never got none of that, baby. We shouldn't got no sympathy and no babying. They should have said, no, you need to do this and sit down till you get it right. Period. You ain't getting up. You ain't no recess till you get this right. It ain't no ease for effort, because life don't give ease for effort. And that's what I had to find out the hard way. Don't nobody give a damn about you except you, so you got to care. And ain't nobody gonna care until you make them care. Say, hey, look, I got something here. I'm marketing, I'm grinding. Then people pay attention and want to be a part of what you're doing. But I mean, life, like I said, life don't give ease for effort. Either you get it right, or life is gonna give you exactly what you did, and it's gonna be wrong. So if you ain't doing what you need to be doing now, if you're looking like, damn, I can't live off my music, I'm struggling or whatever, that's because prior to this moment, you didn't do the right things. You didn't get the right information. Now the thing about life is, there's always infinite amount of chances. So it's called course correction. Y'all remember that course correction? What that is you look and you say, okay, damn, I didn't get the results I wanted. Now I got to come back and learn something new because I'm doing something wrong. Or maybe I got to make my music hotter. Maybe I got to do this more. Maybe I got to do, what am I doing wrong? And you have to keep, and then when you finally get it right, then you're going to get the right results. See, that's how life works. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no sympathy. You don't fucking, yeah, and that's what people want. They want sympathy. They want you to justify their being a fucking loser. No, you get up and you grind and you go hard every day. You wake up and you go hard. You don't stop. I guarantee you can't help but be the next Just Blaze, the next Dr. Dre, the next Will Smith, whatever it is you're doing. Because that's how it works. What you get out, what you put in. And most people are lazy. Most producers are lazy. They'd rather be chilling, watching TV, and just doing just nonsense instead of doing what they need to be doing in order to get to where they need to go. Marketing is what you need to do first and foremost. I'm about to tell you right now, I don't give a damn what you think you need to be doing. Marketing and building your brand. That's the key. And that's what 2012 I'm really going to be focusing on with my premium guys is the branding. Because a lot of you guys now are making lots of money. Okay, we got that. I taught you how to get traffic. I taught you how to sell and all that stuff. So now, you're making money every month. But that won't last long term without a strong brand. And that's the key right now. I'm teaching guys how to build brands so that way 10 years from now, your name still rings bells. You can command high prices. I mean, building a brand is so much better because people fuck with you because of your name. It don't matter what you're selling, so to speak, and somebody else could try to compete with you, but it don't matter because they know you, they trust you, they love your brand, they want to stick by your brand. And that's what we're going to be talking about this year, and that's premium stuff. That ain't no cheap, this stuff is sacred information that very few people know, which is passed down to me, and I had to pay for it, and you're going to have to pay for it so you can value it and understand it. This is going to set you apart from all the other producers. I'm going to be showing you how I took trauma from a nobody, right, around the world, and now he's a worldwide brand with, like I said, he's one of the hottest guys right now. Everybody wants to come see him. Everybody wants to do deals with him. You know what I mean? That's just the way it works when you brand yourself, right? So that's what we have to work on this year, y'all, the community. And what I did, I just recorded an audio. It's an hour audio where I go step by step into how I took trauma and, you know what I mean, and turn them into that trauma drums and brand them, and how you can do it, and to give you some ideas. Because right now it's not just about the music. You want to be able to have different sources of income. So you want to be able to take your skill, you know, your love for music, and then make other businesses. Like, I give you some great ideas in there, some great new businesses you can create, you know, in the producer community. You know, so that way, long when you maybe even want to make music, you still got money coming in from your other businesses. Because as you get older, there's new producers always coming up, and there's information you should be selling. You should be selling them sound. You should be selling them all kind of stuff, man. So that way to build your empire. And I'm going to show you how to build your brand and your empire so that everything you touch is going to turn to gold. That's a secret. You know what I mean? You're not going to find this anywhere. If you find it somewhere else, good. But right now, the only place you're going to find it is with me, because I'm the only one who knows how to do this. And I've proven it over and over again. Look at my brand. Look at Postman. I came from nobody to now I'm worldwide. People know me all over the world. People want to do deals with me, right? I mean, I got multi-platinum producers. I mean, huge producers that want me to do their marketing deals, right? I mean, that's insane, right? Huge multi-platinum producers want to do products with me. You know what I mean? Guys, if I say their name right now, you know, I'm not going to say no name until it's already out there, but, you know, guys who if I said their name, you'd be like, oh my God, for real, we're coming out with products. We're doing deals. You know what I mean? They're coming to me for the marketing. So I'm that valuable in the marketplace. And the way I did that, again, through study, through learning, through hard work, and then through branding myself. I'm branded as the king of internet marketing when it comes to producers. There's nobody else in my space, and can't nobody catch up because of the such hard work that I put in. So in this audio, what I did was I'm giving you the game, period, on how to do it, how to differentiate yourself, how to charge high prices, and how to come in and kill the competition and create businesses around your music production, so you can take your brand, instead of just having beats, that's one source of income, you take it and you also turn it into other sources. You know what I mean? Like how Trauma, now he has Trauma drums and he has other things. I have Live Our Beats as well as TV music. I can get online and sell beats. I can, you know what I mean? So that's where you want to be. Now, and I'm going to tell you something. This is the truth right here. I don't want to put fear in you, but there's no other options. I mean, you got to look at the economy. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know, I have to say this. The economy is not coming back the way it was. You can't depend on job security for 100 years and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have to get up and go get it and create jobs. You're going to have to create things. You know, and the way you create jobs, the way you create businesses, the way you create income and wealth as a producer is making your music and also building businesses around it. That ain't really nothing. I mean, when I say build a business, you probably think of a skyscraper. No. This is a business here. Dressed like how I want to dress, chilling. Right? Trauma, you know, you ain't never seen him have to put on no business suit or nothing. If you watch his videos, he always got on his t-shirt, man, his beard, you know what I mean, making beats. That's, you still gonna be doing what you love to do. You know what I mean? It's just now you're turning stuff into products and you're selling it as well. Just like your beat is a product, right? And you're selling it, and packaging it, and you're selling it. So I'm gonna be teaching you branding. So you need to get this audio. That's the first step. Is get this audio. It's gonna let me know if you're serious. Again, we're not dealing with no more cheapskates and none of that. This is premium stuff. So we're going to keep it real small circle. And the guys who I see that are really serious about this stuff, just like I saw Trauma, I'm bringing in. When I see something for you, you're the guys that I'm coming to, the community. Again, all that cheap whining and crying and I'm so poor and helpless, all that stuff, I'm not dealing with that. Live Our Beats don't want none of that brokenness in our community. We're not dealing with that. So everything is turning to premium. I'm telling you now, teaching how to build brands, how to become the next, big thing, not just getting by and making a couple of dollars selling beats online. Again, that was cool. We did that. That was 3 years ago. Now we're talking about building brand, establishing our names. So that way we're going to have wealth for generations to come. And you're going to have wealth, so you ain't got to worry about in 20 years how you're going to be eating and how you're going to keep your family eating. So the first thing you can do is get this audio right now. You can click the link down there. It's practically cheap. You know what I mean? It's practically for nothing. I mean, think about it. How much is it worth to learn how to build wealth for the rest of your life? You know what I mean? Stuff that no one knows how to do, really. Only like maybe a few percentage of people in the world know how to do it, and producers at that. And to the degree now that major producers are coming to me because they see how important this is. They can't just do it with just music anymore. They have to have other things around it. And it's simple. It's easy. It's not a whole hard thing. It's just learning how to do it and then doing it. So, you need to get this information. How valuable is immediate income, living off your dreams, also being able to live in the future comfortably, just doing what you love to do. That to me is invaluable. So, like I said, it's premium stuff, premium content, giving my best stuff. I'm not holding nothing back anymore. I'm just saying, look, here's the best stuff. This is how you do it. It's not, you know, how to get traffic and how to sell a couple beats on the internet. I'm done with that. I did that already. If you get the old stuff, look at the old videos. Now we're talking about how to build wealth, how to become the next big thing, how to brand yourself, how to build businesses, get paid basically for life. You know, this type of knowledge will have you paid for life. So get the audio right now if you're really serious about it. If you ain't serious about it, then just watch this video and go back to doing what you've been doing, which is probably not much. You ain't been doing much, you know what I mean? If you ain't got this knowledge because you're going around in circles. I know, I've been there, done that. So I'll see you next time. I'm going to be trying to update more frequently than I have been. Again, you tell I'm really busy. You know, I got all this other stuff going on. But I definitely want to stay in contact with the community, keep you guys updated on what I'm doing, keep giving you the knowledge and game so you can go further. I plan on dropping a master class coming soon. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, get the audio, listen to it. It's gonna change the way you look at a whole lot of stuff. I'm detailing a lot of stuff in there that is gonna shock you. It's gonna help you in your brand. I guarantee it, man. So you know, you say, Postman, why you always selling something? God damn it, because I'm a motherfucking salesman. I'm a marketer. That's what I'm trying to teach you how to do, so you can make some motherfucking money. You got to sell them beats. You got to sell. But then you also got to do what you love to do. You see what I'm saying? So that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be giving y'all that too. So go ahead, get the audio. I love y'all, man. Postman, I'm out. Make 2012 your best year. Start it off right. Get the right information, the right knowledge, and apply it. All right, y'all, I'm out.